Hi, hello, and welcome to the Oracle Councilorship brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess of Belosi. I'll be your Oracle today. I was sent to deliberate some findings, okay? You know, there's a lot of shifting going on, and we may or may not be aware of it. It may or may not be clear to us. We may or may not understand all the abstract aspects of it, all the macro aspects of it, whatever, what have you. Ultimately, there's this need to walk on by. It's easier said than done, of course. A lot of us are deeply heartfelt, exceptionally compassionate. So we want to know why people did what they did, why they don't care, why their heart isn't where their heart should be, or in our opinion. And when we're like, why don't they care? Okay, that's a judgment. It takes a while to process, it takes a while to walk into that concept and idea, it takes a while to own that. Okay, and it's fine. When you're judging and you're unconsciously judging, it's really us saying that we have an unmet need. So that's what I want to talk about, because there's some transforming weakness here. On the other side, it's more whether it be an energy, entity, ideology, energy, enemy. I mean, on the other side, it's I hate to say it, it's relieving boredom. These people need to do bigger, brighter, and better in their life. They ain't know nothing. They ain't got no nothing. They ain't about no nothing, and it's our problem, right? Okay, maybe, maybe not. I highly doubt it, but let's see. Let's figure this out, right? There's a little bit more. We've got to transform weakness, and really, we've got to respond to the event. We're really having our faith tested. So, if we don't have faith in a higher power and in source energy, creation, whatever, what have you, if we don't understand our place in the grand design, we're going to have all the sixes as significators here. So this is access. For a lot of us, it's going to be access to us. Okay. Six of Swords, Copa, Inari. Okay. So maybe or maybe we don't understand, or maybe not we have the answer, or whatever, what have you. But if we're asking the why of the why of the why of the why, it's fine to ask the question why and put it up to the universe, put it up to the subconscious, and let that kind of matriculate, circulate. Okay. But if we're bound and stuck, it's the devil. And that's just what that is. That's just what that be. The devil could be ignorance. It could be falseness, illusion, delusion, confusion. But when you're living out of it, and you're making decisions out of it, that can kind of cost you the soul. Okay. The devil could also be bondage. Typically, when you're bound to something, it can also be karma. Typically, it talks about negativity, bad karma. Okay. There's too much energy coming through. So the other side wants us to know that they're working on stealing our happiness. Okay. They want to create a world of difficulty. So that's just the thing, that these hoes need compassion, because they are under the impression that if we're miserable and bitter like them, that they'll feel better, whether they know it or not, whether it's conscious for them or not. They also think that they can pick us off, pluck us off, knock us out of the way, or knock us over, or whatever, what have you, that God or the environment surrounding location is going to give them our blessings, or they can take our position, they can take our role if we're out of the way, whatever, what have you. There's this thing though, we have this unconditional tolerance. It's not about them. It's not about what they're doing. It's not about who they are. We recognize that we're dealing with a person that's in desperate need of healing. And it could also be ourselves. So back to the original topic, if we're sitting there asking the why of the why of the why, after like a day or so, it becomes us having less faith than perhaps we should. However much faith we have, not mine to say. And I don't like the narrative, the conversation of, if you had more faith, la-di-da-di-da-di-ya. Okay, maybe that's true. It usually is very true, but it's not our place to say that. It's better to say, lean into your faith, open yourself up to discernment, pray to the Lord or your higher power for guidance. Versus, if you had more faith, I'll be honest, usually that's very true, but it's not our place to say it. And if we are feeling entitled to say it, there's something out of alignment. So behind this conversation, there's a lot of course correction. The enemy is being taken down. I'm wearing something with a funny belt. The enemy is being taken down, and whatever, what have you. There's a great reconciliation because there's a lot of transfer going on, and it will be going on for a long while. There's going to be reversals, and they're happening. They've been happening. The thing about it is it's going to become common knowledge. We're all going to see it. The Queen of Cups tells us that we have unconditional compassion. We might also have tolerance. Seven of Pentacles means that there's an agenda, something, someone is working on us. We should be planting seeds in some kind of way, some kind of shape, some kind of form. Investing in our soul is really where we should be, our bigger, brighter, and better future. With the Queen of Cups and I'm hearing the Page of Wands. I was going to say the Queen of Cups and the Star. Now I'm also getting the Queen of Wands, which means our position is our position, but we've had to go through a lot to get it or to keep it or to stay in it. So if anything that I say, I'm on a sugar cleanse, and this has a lot of lemon, so my face. If anything that is said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. Okay. And thank you for your support. We have also the Page of Cups, which is talking about being prepared to understand, being prepared not just to know the why, but being prepared to sense and to feel what it is and why it is. Because Nine of Swords, things are building in the background that are probably unpleasant, most particularly for the other side. On our side, we might be fearful or haunted because of an attack. There could be some kind of karma going on. This is the first sword out, so it's probably not us because we're sitting in it. Whatever's happened, good, bad, ugly, or otherwise, we're sitting in it. And I feel like, in general, the chickens are coming home to roost. So if somebody threw something up in the air, if it's up, then it's stuck. Okay, because we're highly blessed, chosen, favored, and anointed. And we're sitting in our energy, we're sitting in our peace, we're sitting in our security. So that Seven of Pentacles is making investments. This is when the investments are yielding. Now, between the 7 and the 8, between the 7 and the 9 is the 8. 8 talks about compounding. Another definition could be aligning to oneself. Another definition could be responding spiritually to what needs to happen in the physical. Okay, so doing the physical part so that spirit can step through, pull through, come through. Ooh, there's ginger and turmeric and lemon in there, so it's very pow, with no sweetener. I'm out of honey. I don't have any of my non-glucose sweeteners. I ain't doing no dextrose or sucralose or none of that. Okay, I have sweeteners, but they're not here in the house. Okay, so King of Swords as well. So okay, so, really what I'm getting is that we need to know clearly what's up. And it's not about knowing what's up, but what's up is that we need to have faith. We need to stay the course. We need to align to our values. We need to allow our spirit, our soul to embody itself here in the physical through us. It has through us kind of being born, but we need to stand strong in our soul, stand strong in our spirit. Let's call it emotional fortitude, okay? There needs to be a lack of needing to know. Let me repeat that. There needs to be a lack of needing to know. There needs to be more of trusting and having faith. Now, let me tell you why. What's going on? We're not going to know the particulars, the individual, the nuances of it. People thought we were nothing, or they thought we were too blessed. And so they decided to take us out, take us down, knock us off, knock us over. And it wasn't the right path for them to take. Now, we were on the right path, but we had this extra dose of ignorance. It might have been ineptitude. Now, what is ineptitude? Unskillfulness or ignorance. A combination of an abstract amalgamation of being either stupid or dumb, or some combination of the both. Now, dumb is more closer to unintelligent. Stupid is knowing the right thing and not doing it. So it's stupid to sit there scrolling on your phone when you know you got to leave for work in 5 minutes, and then you look up at the clock, it's 15 minutes later, now you're going to be 10 minutes to work. That's stupid. Dumb is engaging with a person who's malignantly toxic and going around spreading harm and just not being able to see the patterns or catch the patterns or notice the red flags enough to create a boundary. Dumb is knowing that you need to say something, but you've gone 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, 10, 12, 15 occurrences and still haven't stated the boundary. That's more stupid than dumb, okay? And I know I was, informing, instructing, educating on what's the difference between stupid and dumb. Sometimes we don't know, sometimes we don't know better, and sometimes we do know better, but we don't have the strength of character to do better. So this is kind of a testing zone, but the reality is nothing is a test because everything is a test. And the real and the only division is between light and dark. And it embodies itself upon the earth as day and night. So light dispels the darkness, let's put it that way. But think about it, light also creates darkness, and I think that light was created out of darkness as well. So put it this way. When you shine a light, there's places where the light doesn't touch. Say you turn the light on in a room, well, under the bed or under the couch or under the table or whatever, what have you, it's gonna be a little shadow. So whenever there's truth, whenever there's illumination, enlightenment, whenever there's enumeration, okay, there's always going to be something that's hidden in the shadow. Okay, now there are realms of pure light, there are realms of pure darkness, but then you go inside and you find the light, or you work through the darkness into the light. You find the light within yourself, kind of. All right. So this is the precursor to what we're going to talk about, because there's something to seize here. So we either need to take, to take action quickly. Answer the call of action quickly. There might be something to seize upon, infiltrate, exploit, whatever, what have you. In a very, very positive sense, there's something on our end that we need to do. There's something we need to take advantage of, because we're being prepared for knowledge and understanding, but it comes after we receive our blessings. So first we receive our blessings, Page of Cups, then we receive the understanding and the knowledge of said blessings, Page of Swords. And really what we're ignorant, what we're naive about, what we're dumb about is that we didn't know. If we knew by aligning ourselves to people that are going to hell, we would have very slowed incoming of blessings. If we knew by aligning ourselves with people that are going to hell, it would block temporarily our blessings, it would slow them down. We probably would choose different for the most of us. And those who didn't would have forsaken God, meaning they knew better and they didn't do better because they didn't believe or have faith in the promise. Okay. So interesting, when you see 2 pages and it's near the star, I'm hearing also the Lovers. That's not what I was trying to say. The star, the strength, the justice, the empress. It's talking about being prepared to be elevated, okay? In some kind of way, shape, or form. The star talks about elevation in the collective. So we were born and we were destined to be on the path that we're on. So avoiding rumors. This is actually talking about the name that we have. See, birth. On our side here, birth. Because the overall thing is letting go of vengeance. Don't need to be revenged. Don't seek revenge. Vengeance is the Lord's. Vengeance belongs to the Most High. Because really, our life and whatever anyone decides to do to us, especially a betrayal, a manipulation, something that's deceitful, malicious, something that's 5 of Swords kind of energy, block, sabotage, destroy. There's even more grievous things that can happen in the 5 of Swords, like murder. I'm not going to say that again or go towards that, more in that direction. What I'm trying to say is anybody who comes at us 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords, really God is using, or the Lord, or the higher power, or the grace, or whatever, the Great Spirit really, is using us, our case, our experience, our lesson, our soul, as a classroom. because we're living in a free will zone. So the Most High gets to see who we are. And the thing about blessings is those are contracts with God. So imagine all the things that need to happen in the spiritual for some kind of gift to show up here in the physical for us. And a lot of people will look at these blessings that we're receiving and think like, you don't deserve that, or you're too blessed, or whatever, what have you. You know how the girl do all this horrible things? She basically lied on me and got the police involved in all these things. And when my friends or associates or whatever confronted her about it, you know what she said? It's because I was too joyful. That it would make her feel a lot better to see me for a moment not happy. Girl, we're living in a homeless shelter. I'm just recovering from a domestic situation, and I'm able to smile. I'm able to wake up with joy. You know, I would wake up dancing and singing. That's my thing. When I wake up in the morning, part of my gratitude practice is to dance around in my underwear. And it's just like a 5-minute thing when I'm on my way to the kitchen to get hot water and do my morning flush and get my systems activated and going. It's how I start my day. You know, I get on my hands and knees, I kiss the ground, I thank the goddess for my breath, I thank my ancestors for the wombs I descend from and the fact that I get to be here and improve our legacy. And then I dance around in my underwear and I make my way to the kitchen, not to have coffee or tea, but to have hot water like the Asians do. Okay, it's my practice. Well, that infuriated her, intimidated her, agitated her, whatever, what have you. Okay. So this is manifests itself in many ways. Oh, hey, kiddo. This manifests itself in many ways. And it always just equates to haterade. Does that make sense? You know, people could see the light in us before we can see it in our own self. And they want to use it because their life is miserable and bitter. It's slowed down to a crawl, a snail's pace. Come on. Get out from behind me, darling. You know better. This is what I'm sensing. This is what I'm seeing. So I'd like to know where this channel, where this intuition is coming from, so I could illuminate, elucidate a little bit more. But that's what stopped. What I have here is avoiding rumors. So that's a vast concept and idea, because sometimes people know the calling on our life, especially before we do. And those who know the calling in our life and aren't helping us or leading us or guiding us or informing us or instructing us towards that calling in our life, they're actually jealous and competing with us in some kind of way. And people can compete in all kinds of ways. If a person files false charges on you, they're competing with you. Believe it or not, how that equates is to get you out of the way so they can take your space. If a person starts openly, honestly hating on you, you know, out loud, they're still competing because they want to make you feel less about yourself so they can feel better about yourself. If a person is lying on you behind your back, if they're going around campaigning, scheming, networking against you, again, they're competing with you. Why? Because they need to work in collective when they can't face you face to face. Okay. So whatever, what have you, it always comes back to competing with you. And this is what I'm getting from avoiding rumors. Now, we didn't have the 5 of wands come out. We didn't. Oh, we have a Judas, a Jonas, or a Jezebel. I don't know specifically what they are here. With the 4 of swords, what it is we're healing. And they saw that the thought that they had or what they were leading us to or contributing to wasn't what it was. And see, the thing is, envy, pride, those two really destroy a soul faster and worse than any other sin. To sin means to be born into the world and forget that you are of God. We can talk and frame that out much more, but that's, distill it down, when you are born into the world, so easily distracted, but you're really of God. That's what that means, okay? And I'm getting confirmations on that. So we were seized upon, infiltrated, exploited in some kind of way. And it was social. Somebody wanted to steal our absolute power in some kind of way, some kind of shape, some kind of form. But what we kept doing was giving them love. We might have been coming towards them with affection. And they damn themselves in some kind of way. So we started with that 9 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, and it means they were planting seeds of attack. Especially with this Page of Swords, it's a confirmation. The Page of Swords is delayed news or a journey that has delays on it. And it's not always about the actual journey, but it would be here with the Knight. Okay, it talks about preparing for the journey, learning and being prepared for the journey. Brought up obstacles, brought up opposition. Even Swords is opposition. Wands is adversarial nature, antagonistic energy. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Somebody here could also be a Leo rising. The world is a hostile place to them, 4 of Swords. And we're finding it easy. We're finding it to be a blessing. So Tower, this insight that we need with the 3 of Wands here. So people see things about to hit for us, Tower, 3 of Wands, or it could be that there's a crisis on the way, some type of awakening, but it's a rude awakening. The eye is going to be ripped open. 7 of Cups, because we're in some kind of illusion, delusion, confusion, or in general, there is some kind of illusion, delusion, confusion. I need to pause for a moment. I'll be right back. This is the second time I'm saying that this week. Attack on our reality. There's some kind of attack coming now. We could translate that differently. The Tower could also be an event that typically is a crisis or a catastrophe, something can unravel, something that comes out that shocks us, something happens that we couldn't expect. But it's coming towards us. It'll happen relatively quickly, within a few days. We're being prepared to understand something, to gain some insight, to have a truth given to us, which unifies us to something that's truth, to get us on the same page with the blessing that's on the way. We had the Page of Cups before. The 3 of Wands, 3 of Cups means the blessing is on the way. And again, remember I was talking about emotional fortitude. It's related to our God duties and obligations. It also could be something on a global scale, collective scale, or from those that are in power. So we might have insight into some shift in the cosmic structure, because we had the Star card before, but what I'm getting is the governmental structure. Something about the way things are, the way things be, how things are organized, the hierarchy, the government, the control, whatever, what have you. It could even be the church. Oh yeah, I know in California, a lot of priests are committing suicide. I'm gonna leave that there. Catholic priest, which is like a big sin, a big no-no. Also, there's some kind of diocese somewhere in the U.S. That just filed for bankruptcy because they couldn't come up with all the money for the lawsuits they were getting for predatory behaviors. And then here we have artists and priests. So we might have been lied to, or we might not have seen through or seen clearly about the priesthood, or those in power who should know better. A thing about priests, because it's not always priest, it usually is. Priest is a channel versus mediator, which is a vessel. What does that mean? A mediator has no skin in the game. Priest does. Priest is going to want to see you save your soul. Priest is going to, and a priest is not always about God. A priest is going to want to see you elevate, want to see you ascend. So they do have a vested interest in improving you. Now, priest has more to do with the journey, and mediator has more to do with the outcome. Because this is predicated upon advocate, damsel, and mentor. And what we've already learned is engineer. So there was this maladaptive, idiosyncratic, perfunctory mechanism of distrusting, disbelieving. And when a mentor doesn't want you to surpass them, when a person is supposed to help you, a priest, a teacher, an elder, a guide, a coach, a mentor doesn't want you to surpass them or gets mad when you start to leave them or start to outgrow them or whatever. They were never a mentor. They were just a vendor. Okay. So we're starting to realize that we put our faith in the wrong way, or we gave the wrong kind of trust, or something, what have you. They wanted us ignorant and helpless, is what I'm being told. They also tried to overpower us or convince us to give our power away in some kind of way, in some kind of shape, in some kind of form. Yeah, and they really didn't understand or didn't care about the impact that we were having, and we might have been. See, we were looking for some kind of nurturance. We were looking for some kind of love, and we stayed too longer than we should have, and we know that. We saw the red flags long before we got out of it, and they wanted to exact some type of appreciation. So I did this, or I saved you, or you would be nothing. You'd be living in the gutter. You'd still be a hoe. You'd still be a prostitute. You'd still be stripping if I didn't marry you, if I didn't date you, if I didn't save you, if I didn't teach you, if I didn't show you, if I did die, yada yada, whatever, what have you. They want some kind of like, oh, you remember back when I found you, or whatever. You ain't nothing. I made you. Okay. Here's the deal. You can't build something you didn't. You can't break somebody that you didn't build. And the thing about taking away somebody's power is you've got to get them to give you permission to take away their power. Okay, you can take away somebody's freedom, you can take away somebody's life, you can take away somebody's liberty, but their personal power comes from them and God. So if they don't believe in themselves, then they're susceptible. If they believe in themselves, if they are self-possessed, not self-obsessed, not self-absorbed, not self-obsessed, if they are self-possessed, if they're self-guided, if they are dependent on themselves, independent, okay, they're really unflappable, unf-withable. And there's some energy here of exacting appreciation because they did something to give us a leg up or whatever, or what have you. But then they feel like they're worthy of whatever blessings that we're receiving. And of course, we can help them out. We can share the love. We can share the blessings of what. But this person needs some kind of, okay, so queen. We're a queen now. We've already learned that. So we rule, we govern with love, and they govern. Okay, so they're a bully. They're intimidated. They're masking fear behind their behavior, behind their actions. And their behavior and their actions might not be outwardly or overtly, obviously antagonistic. They might be covertly antagonistic, okay? When you see these two things together, this is about believing in power. See, what people don't realize is that the Hierophant, yeah, it means all these things, but hold on. We put power, we put faith into the things that the Hierophant is, okay? If you don't believe in money, money's not going to have value in you. If you don't believe in God, God's not going to have value to you. If you don't believe or recognize the authority of the government's not going to have that to you. So that's what the Hierophant is, okay? These are things we put stock, we put faith in. The only thing here that we can't really negate is this physical plane, and still theoretical physicists and theologians and la-di-da and yada yada, they're still going to try to argue with it. Some scientists even argue with the scientific method, even though they're using the scientific method to argue with the scientific method. You hear what I'm saying? So you can still argue, but you might look stupid, sound stupid. Okay. But behind that is somebody trying to make us believe that we don't have power. Somebody trying to overpower us by getting us to give them our power. Another thing with the Hierophant is that it's some type of ascent. You may be a vessel, a portal through which things pass through. Like, for instance, you go to court, you meet the judge, you get your first ruling, you don't like your ruling, you can appeal. Well, guess what? It gets kicked up when you go to appeal. So, but you have to go through that person in order to get to the next step, meaning you got to get denied first. The credit laws have changed a lot, but I've been reading tarot for over 2 decades. So, but in the recent years, the credit laws have changed. But before that, Sometimes you need to get denied on a loan before you can get a free copy of your credit report. And of course, in the US, you can get one a year for free, but it's shifted, it's changed. You can get one free now twice a year from every credit bureau. So you can basically get 6 credit reports for free a year, okay? It's one of those things. Something has to happen before something else happens. And what I'm getting here is that we need to give our power away. Somebody needs to convince us that we don't have strength, that we're not strong. Actually, it's coming out like this. So this is also strong faith. Okay, strong belief. Okay. But I am getting that somebody's trying to overpower us. Somebody is trying to overpower us. Now, it's not always going to be a person, because really what it is the devil. It's an entity. But you see, goodness, I'm just going to pause. I'll be right back. We dropped some cards. And it's split here. So we have some for us and some from the other side. From the other side, yeah, the brass ring, they want what we have. Because they might be bored, they might be lazy. See, the thing about boredom is that they ain't nothing. They're not doing enough with themselves, but they want to take what we got. Okay. And what it's telling us, okay, so first of all, that's the truth. Okay. And it's Sunday, it's the church people outside. So I'm just, I love Sunday best. I'm a fancy girl. I like pomp and circumstances and rituals and formalities, and I like the ceremony of it all. So Mama loves some church attire. And I live sandwiched between 3 churches and a synagogue. So, and I'm a gay Black Jew, in case you didn't know. I mean, I'm a Wudunsi. I practice West African Wudun, but you'll notice that a lot of Wudun is either Islamic practices that are older than that religion, or Jewish practices that are older than that religion. Okay. And it depends on what region of Africa the practices are, so if you're practicing Wudun in like North Africa, it's going to be Islamic. If you're practicing Wudun in East Africa, it'll be something different, but I live, anyways, my point, I live between 3 churches in either direction, and I love Sunday. Yeah, so the thing that I'm getting here is we have this contentment because we have truth, and the truth isn't what's up, what's going on, why is it happening, who done did it. It's that we know our own truth. We know who we are, we know about our power, we have faith in the Lord, we have faith in the higher power, we're starting to answer the calling on our life, so we're starting to understand our destiny, what the calling is on our life, not just the sacred calling, okay? Because many are called, few are chosen, and it's not God's job to call the chosen ones. It's God's job to choose those who are called. Okay? So we're called to a higher service, a higher mission, and we're coming up against these petty people that are trying to overpower us. But you see, I'm sitting there waiting for the 5 of Wands to come out, because that's what I'm imagining, that's what I'm getting, that's what I'm sensing, that's what I'm feeling. I want to keep going, so we're going to do a little bit of confirmation, clarification. We're going to use the deviant moon. So I'm sensing the 5 of Wands, which is petty. People wanting to bring you down to their level. Crabs in a barrel, crabs in a bucket, right? You see one slipping off, getting out, getting up, getting some, and we feel them jealous, so we want to stop them, block them, whatever, what have you. And we're rising out of that. So right now we can get stuck or we can slip back into the swamp, Seven of Cups. You leave the swamp, Eight of Cups. You can slide back into illusion, delusion, confusion, slide back into the swamp. You can be enticed if you don't go with your gut in the Seven of Cups. We're starting to leave the roost. We're starting to leave the hen house. We're starting to differentiate ourselves, separate ourselves from the rest of the hoes, because these hoes are petty ass hoes. And we're looking for our tribe. We're looking for people that celebrate us, not just tolerate us. Okay. Yeah, King of Wands. I think so. We're overlooking all the low vibrational stuff. The Five of Wands is not coming. The Five of Wands just won't come out. The King of Wands came. The Page of Wands came. The Three of Wands came. Okay. We know that we have a big, bright future, and we'd rather worry and focus on that. And so we're not even, okay. So the Five of Swords came instead of the Five of Wands. Look at this Five of Swords. And I love this one because it's very clear that the person has crossed the line. It's very clear here that the person has crossed the line, that they've gone too far, that they're doing too much, that they've come for you, come at you, come at us, come for us. The thing about it is what's about to hit is fortune. Okay, I was trying not to say it. I needed a confirmation. Mama just needs to speak. Listen to your priestess. I'm getting the energy that we're about to be a millionaire. And listen, sensitive ears get easily triggered, okay? No, sensitive ears get easily offended. We can't help our triggers, but we can help what we take offense to. A millionaire doesn't always mean cash money dollar bills in the bank account. You might not wake up tomorrow and have extra zeros, but we may start the path that leads us to that. Because what I'm getting is somebody's trying to take us off the path. If we start with the Three of Wands, what does that mean? If we start with the Seven or the Three, what does that mean? It means we've already been dealing with the obstacles at the Two. We've already been dealing with the obstacles at the Six. What does that mean? Well, the Six is when you get some kind of harmony sanctuaries, when the spiritual energy fully descends onto earth. That's what the Six means. The Two means that you're at the crossroads. You're already weighing up options or choosing left or right or choosing which road to take. And then when you have the Seven and you have the Three, you're starting to get results from whatever was the Two. So, or you're starting to get results from whatever was before. So 3 is supported by 2, 7 is supported by 6. Okay. So we have the Three of Wands, we're supported by the Two of Wands. What does that mean? It means that we've already chosen a path. We've already figured out what our options are. We've already weighed up some considerations. We've already figured out a strategy and we're implementing that strategy. Okay. And furthermore, with the Three of Wands specifically, those results are coming in. With the Seven of Cups specifically, something is trying to make us leave our sanctuary, which is safe space and refuge. So we were covered by God in the Six of Cups, and now the Seven of Cups is trying to introduce in some illusion, delusion, confusion. We're being offered things that are not as the objects in the rearview mirror. They appear closer than they are. So we're being offered things that aren't real, that are illusion. Somebody's giving us something to distract us, to take, so they could take away our power. Is what I'm getting. And then I was like, well, what are we being protected from? Because what I'm gotten in both decks, the one card that I've gotten in both decks is the Four of Swords. So I'm like, okay, well, what are we being protected from? Because what I'm getting is that there's all these forces, there's all these entities, ideologies, enemies on the outside, on the periphery, on the perimeter, on the whatever, on the what have you, on the so on the so forth. They're on the outside looking in, trying to get in, trying to tear us down, tear us apart, take us out, cross us out. What are we being protected from? Four of Swords. How is the outside world not getting in? Four of Swords. And then, so when I went a step further and I asked what that was, I clarified what that was, I kept seeing two energies and I saw it in my mind's eye and it came here. See, I've been seeing the Five of Wands. When I started this reading, what was in my mind's eye was the Five of Wands. And the first card that came out was Seven of Cups. So the Five of Wands is Saturn in Leo, and the Strength card did come out. So the Five of Wands basically did come out. But what that means is that we needed to stand in our own power, number one, and we needed to repel pettiness, number two, and that we were around a lot of low vibrational people, number three, and we needed to walk away from it, number four, and we probably did, number five, because the Strength card came out. Seven of Cups is basically like, get in the box, be conditioned. With the Nine of Swords, it would have been saying like, don't you feel bad for not being like us? It's that respectability politicking, virtue signaling, concern trolling, compassion baiting, tone policing, individuality shaming. Don't you want to be like us? You should be more like your brother. Or look at me, I paid for this house with this federal job. Why don't you go out and get some 9 to 5, whatever, what have you, which is nothing wrong with that, but it might not work for us. It might not be the path for us. It might not be the choice that we would make. And there's something about our individuality, about our differentness, about our separateness, about our autonomy, about our ability, capacity, and right to choose differently, to think differently, to feel differently, to have different judgment criteria, to have different decision-making criteria, whatever it is, whatever have you. There's a fly out the window and the cat is like punching at the window and I'm distracted. Our autonomy is not being respected. Somebody wants to bypass, override, diminish, dilute, distort, dismiss, disown, deject, destroy. Something about us. It starts out at the level, the floor of, we're different, we're doing different, we're acting different, we're being different. That's the floor. A step above that, it might be radical, it might be controversial, it might be making waves, rocking the boat. A step above that, they're taking offense, they're feeling some kind of way. So that means a step above that. So that means they need to regulate, lord over, preside over, speak over, punish us in some way, control us in some way. Okay, step above that. They're wanting to tout in our face the Bible or the rule book or the code, the county code, the federal code, the state code, legislature, whatever, what have you. Or they just want to wave the Bible in our face or the handbook, the policy book, the employee book, whatever. And a step above that, they're frightened by what it is that we're doing, what it is, who it is that we are. So they look at us and they feel fear. And when a person looks at us and they feel fear, it means either they're a demon or they can't confront themselves. Okay, and a step above that, they may take it upon themselves to combat us. So calling us out and doing the compassion baiting is low vibrational fighting. Making it their mission to take us out, that's high level fighting. Okay, whether or not they win or not. So that's what I'm getting, because I kept seeing the Five of Wands, I kept seeing the King of Pentacles with the Tower. Now the Tower is everywhere that I am. I'm just going to tell it to you like it is. But when you have the Tower and the King of Pentacles, it means you might hit it big, you might hit it rich. And so I was saying, oh, we're going to increase our value. Oh, we're going to master our skills. And it's going to start producing things. Because remember, we had the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups. So 2 sevens is an alert that there's an attack. But we had the Seven of Pentacles progress into the Nine of Pentacles, which means we were making investments, probably in ourselves, because it was the first pentacle out. So that's the overall energy. That's the strongest energy. If the overall energy and the strongest energy is Seven of Pentacles, either somebody's planting seeds against us or we are planting seeds in ourselves. We're basically investing. And then the investment was yielding Nine of Pentacles, and now we have the King of Pentacles here. But with the Tower, the battery died. Just went. Had some stone fruit. And now we're back. Stone fruit is anything with a pit in it, like cherries or nectarines, which I'm eating, or peaches, or even avocados. There's a stone, a seed in the middle. That's stone fruit. So I was thinking like our wealth was being attacked, or our skills are being attacked, our mastery is being attacked, our ownership, our right to something. King of Pentacles is being attacked, Tower. And you know what it said? No, our wealth is being attacked because look at this. Okay. So we're about to manifest because we're aligning and mastering the calling on our life. Our spiritual inheritance, 10 of Pentacles, is starting to manifest. Okay. So we have the 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. So we're yielding and we're creating a legacy, a portfolio of worth, value, deservedness is what I'm getting, especially with the King of Wands being here. So let me do a couple more rounds, see if the 5 of Wands comes. But the King of Wands came, the Knight of Wands came. So somebody is really trying to make their way in. So this is about attack. Attacks and upheavals. Because we're under attack, but it's not working. We're barely noticing. And we might have noticed that we were attacked, like say a year ago, 2 years ago, and then 6 months after that, or 6 months ago, we learned about it and everything kind of settled into place. But we were thinking that we had a conflict with one person, but really what was going on is there was a collective of people, maybe one person stood out from the rest, us trying to take us down, people trying to take us down. And here's the thing, like, it's not about understanding why they did what they did. The best of people believe the best in you. That's the quote. So the best of people should believe the best in us. And if they could be convinced or decide to believe that we were anything other than loving, caring, generous, and kind, they weren't right for us. And you either grow together or you grow apart. So they weren't trying to build with us. They were actually trying to compete with us. So that's the thing we need to realize as well. We're trying to lift other people up that don't even want to see us at the top. Okay. So when we get all of those things, the Lord, the Creator, the universe, whatever, what have you, will inform, enlighten, instruct, educate us a little bit more on what was going on. Because what we need is faith. Now, the typical religious definition of faith is not evidence-based. Actually, in the absence of all faith, in the absence of all evidence, therein lies faith. Spirituality would say that faith is evidence-based, okay? And have an expectation, earnestly strive towards that expectation, and you will receive evidence. You will have evidence. Belief, you actually already can sit in faith, because faith is the star card. Knowing that you're co-creating, collaborating, cooperating with the universe, and that if the intention is right and the alignment is for your life, the alignment is right, and there's earnest, everything will work out for the best. Okay. So we shouldn't be dogmatically do monkey see, monkey do, or fall in line because everybody else is. It's fine to be a little different if you can sense or your intuition tells you that doesn't really sound right for me. That might not be my path. I'm going to check in with the Lord and see if that's what I'm being instructed to do. Okay. So somebody has been trying to make their way in. And again, it could be an entity, it could be an enemy, it could be an ideology, it could be an energy. But here's the deal. If the entity of the devil, which is Satan, the devils are arch demons, and then the arch demon is Satan. If Satan, the great adversary, can't get us as an entity, they will step through into the physical through a member of the demonic soul group. What does that mean? The only division, and it's in the first 5 verses of the Bible, Genesis, he separated the light from the dark, and he called the light day and the dark night. That's the only separation. Okay? So if they're born of the night, if they do things in the dark, if they work out of darkness, if they're of what we call the infernal kingdom or the dark principalities, if they're of the dark camp, then that's the devil, okay? Because they're spiraling downwards, and lived spelled backwards is devil. So they're inverted. They're warped in some sensibility, okay? That's what I have here, because somebody has been, they're resting on trying, they have an agenda. They're coming after us in some kind of way. 7 of Pentacles, King of Wands is an agenda. But so they're planning another attack, and it's already coming towards us, number 1. And they've been here before, number 2, with the Knight of Wands. But they're going to do it again. And again, if it's not an actual person, it's an entity that hasn't stepped into a person yet. It's an entity that hasn't found a person to use. If the devil can't get us, he'll send one of his agents. And the devil really is not a he or she. It's a he, she, it, they, them. That's what the devil is. Okay. So we've had a lot of knights. We had the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Cups. Now we have the Knight of Swords, and we're still sitting here with the Knight of Wands. Now they're going in the same direction. We have the Knight of Wands that disappeared. I'm confusing the King of Wands for the Knight of Wands. And the thing about the Knight of Wands in this deck specifically, it's going towards the future. The King of Wands is coming from the future into the past. So this is what I'm getting. You know, somebody here has been really trying very hard to knock us down, bring us down, and it's need one happen, need one work. They've probably been trying for a long time with this Knight of Wands here. But we've already dealt with losses. So now we're dealing with untouchables. We need to leave some things behind. We need to make some changes. And this is in the position of already having done it. So now we're sitting there healing. So the 4 of Swords can talk about having, not just being protected from the external world, but having to process trauma. It's kind of like, there used to be this podcast, I love it. I love Black Girl Magic, but it was called Still Processing. That was the name of the podcast. And it was this Black girl and a feminine straight man, or not traditionally masculine male, straight, married with a child, talking about events in popular culture and how it's affecting Blacks or indigenous communities, okay? People of color. And that's what the 4 of Swords means, still processing. That's really what the 4 of Swords means. We're still processing. So we're healing from some trauma, which means there was a wound, okay? And that's the thing with this tower. It's an attack. And if there's an attack, there's a wound, okay? 4 of Swords. So what this is what I'm getting. With this 5 of Pentacles, it means that we're having to make changes, but the changes can be coming from internal, external. Something was stripped, something was depleted, something broke down. But it's all good now because 4 of Cups. So everything that's being presented to us, everything that's coming towards us is being rejected in some kind of way. There's something that we don't want. Here's the 5 of Wands. See? With the King of Wands and the 5 of Wands, you see how the King is looking right at that 5? So the King is your wants. The King is your wants, what it is that you want. And the King wants to strip us in some kind of way, but strip us of our ego, strip us of our power, strip us of our belief. That's the 5 of Wands. They want to prove that they're more powerful than us, and they're bigger or brighter or better than us. And the King of Wands the Queen of Wands isn't here. The Queen of Wands wants you to think that they're bigger than you, better than you, brighter than you, that they're more powerful than you, more sexy than you, whatever, what have you. They want to be the biggest, the best, the first, the greatest, the most important, whatever, what have you. They want to be the biggest baddie in the room. And typically they need some type of affection, adoration, appreciation, acknowledgement from you. With the king, not the queen, it would talk about it's all those things, but it's an agenda. It's a campaign. They're on a mission to do this, and they're not doing it through the collective. They're doing it directly. It's from them to you. See, the queens work through relationships. The kings work through their power, their command, their role. All right. So they're not able to take us out, take us down, and it's a problem. Okay, but we've learned that lesson. You see, we have the left eye and the right eye of Shiva here, and the Strength card came back. So somebody is guilty. 9 of Swords. And we've already overcome this. So we've overcome the adversity. We've overcome the attacks. We've overcome the shadow dealings going on in the background. And somebody is lying in wait, waiting for the perfect way or the perfect moment to do whatever the little dirty dealing is. And it's need one happen, need one work. See, what we don't sense yet is that somebody wants to destroy our soul. 5 of Swords and the King of Cups. Somebody wants to destroy our soul, period, point blank. Yeah, 7. It looks like the 5, but it's 7. See, we're fighting off all these ogres here. Look at that. This is a lot of fighting, a lot of attack. You see what I mean? But look at us, the Star card. So we tame that beast without even needing to try. Just our energy alone was enough to have that beast settle down, calm down. So let's put this 5 of Swords in our hand and see what comes from that. Okay, so what's going to happen is this energy that they're putting out into the universe that's being projected towards us, we're not going to take it in, and the bill's going to come due and it's going to revert to sender, not be sent back. It's going to revert back to its source of origination. Different than sending back. Since whatever they're projecting at us doesn't work, it's going to go back to the source that sent it. Not absorbed back into source, it's going to go back towards its source of origination. Okay, so I don't quite know what's going to happen with that yet. Let's see what that does for them, to them. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that's a death. So they're probably trying to kill us, especially with the 5 of Swords. I haven't seen the Sun, but I did see the 5 of Pentacles. So 5 of Pentacles with the Death card, 5 of Pentacles with the Sun card, 5 of Pentacles with a 5 of Swords is a dead body. I'm just going to say it. The death is here. We already had the 5 of Pentacles. We already had the 5 of Swords. So this host trying to kill us. It doesn't mean they're trying to like murder, death, kill. It could mean like they're trying to rob us of opportunities, kill our abundance, kill our blessing. We might be going for a job promotion. They might be trying to kill our reputation. Something stupid. Okay, that's just what that is what that be. And we are coming to awareness of it. So what I'm being told is God doesn't want us to know. The universe doesn't want us. Okay, hold on. We have a story here. So we are bossing up, blowing up. Okay, Imperatrice here. This is the Necronomicon deck. 3 of Tredici. That's 13. Denari, the Pentacles. Okay, so somebody here is working, collaborating on our demise. But see, the universe keeps preparing us for whatever's coming, preparing us for whatever's coming, preparing us for whatever's coming. So they think they think they're putting time, energy, effort, and intention into destroying us, but what they're doing is informing, instructing, and educating us. Because God is using their attacks to elevate us. God is using their attacks to prepare us for blessings that have yet to come. Okay, so let's see what these attacks do, because because now we have this 2 of Wands. Remember, we had the 3 of Wands before. We have the 3 of Wands here in this deck with the Page of Wands. So that means we're being prepared for some shift to come in. And the 2 of Wands, we're calling out to something. We're conjuring something up, especially with the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups comes out before the 2 of Wands is a conjuring energy. So let's see what's coming through, pulling through, what it is they've actually done for themselves. Okay, and we're done here. So they really are trying to destroy our soul. I just, the Tower and the King of Cups, they're really trying to destroy our soul. They really are. The 7 of Wands hasn't gone away. But see, we have a secured position. 4 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles. We have the 5 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles, the 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. This person is, if they haven't stepped into the physical, it's the devil, or some ideology if it's ourself. Also, with the 5 of Pentacles, it would talk about an ideology. It would talk about stinking thinking. It could be poverty mentality. It could be stuck on stupid. Ultimately, stinking thinking. Ultimately, it's an ideology. But what I'm getting is we're about to boss up, glow up. Somebody knows that. They're seeing who we are, seeing what we are, seeing what we're about, seeing how we do, seeing how things go. And they're thinking that we don't deserve the blessings that we have. But see, what they're really recognizing from their intimidation is that we possess qualities and characteristics that they don't have. And this is part of the reason why we're being blessed the way that we are. But see, God didn't bless them, God blessed us. And there's a whole equation to blessings. Basically, God knew who we were going to become in this life. And so they prepared a path for us. And the blessings are part of accepting and or walking that path. Because that helps or confirms who we are to become. And the word for that is predestination. Not destiny, it's predestination. Destiny has more to do with the calling on our life. And destiny means we've honored the calling on our life. It doesn't mean it was always going to happen. Because what was always going to happen was predestination. Honoring, standing into it, stepping into it means destiny. It means we've entered the calling on our life, okay? So you see how the stories are getting shorter. It's the same story. Let's do one more. Let's go with the ego. Yeah, so this person's in love with us. We have a double Venus energy here with the, this is the Sage Tarot. I forget the maker of it. I have it somewhere in my catalog. It's not here right now. They're trying to get, they've tried every way to knock down our gate, to storm the gate, to storm the door, to bulldoze down the door. It didn't work. So now, because the Wheel of Fortune is also a gate, any 10 or the Wheel of Fortune is a gate in the physical. The Aces or the Sun is a gate in the spiritual. Okay. So they've tried everything to get us to open the gate to them. So now they're going to try to do love. We had some Page of Cups earlier. Now it's the 2 of Cups and the 3 of Cups. Okay, but with the 7 of Cups still, this is a stupid little hoe. I don't understand what her little problem is. Dumb little fuddy. Let me stop. No, this is, aren't you embarrassed with yourself? Why do you act like this? You clearly need healing and you're clearly lost in delusion and confusion and stupid. What else to say? Because you don't hate on a hoe and then try to get her to love on you too. I don't know what kind of delusion that is. You're deceiving yourself, thinking that you can wage war with somebody and then all of a sudden make peace. The peace comes from leaving them alone after you try to destroy them. You don't get to buddy up to them and suck on their little teat. You don't get to buddy up to them and share in their blessings when you try to destroy them. And they suffered and they struggled and they had to strive for greatness despite you, not because of you. Okay? So if you leave me while I'm struggling, you don't get to stand next to me while I'm succeeding. That's just what it is, what it's gonna be. And if you don't know that hoe, you need to do more work. Somebody needs to tell this little heifer this, because she's stuck on stupid, smoking that crack. Okay? Crack is whack, means it's with the devil, hoe. You aligned yourself to the devil, itch. And you think you can pull through, come through, and get something, and you ain't bring no nothing but drama. You don't bring no nothing but petty. You don't bring no nothing but strife. How you not know, ho? How you not know? Somebody had to say something. Because again, second time in the same position in the second deck that the Knight of Swords has come. Okay. So this one with him brings Locust. That's Locust. You can't see that clearly because the camera sucks, but that's Locust. Loca. This hoe is loked out. Crazy, yo. Seven of Cups can be crazy. And I don't want to say lunatic or mental because that's clinical. You know, I don't want to pathologize, but loked out. She's on something that doesn't exist in reality, not the absolute reality, not actual factual. She's lost in her own reality. See how she wants to share the blessings now? Okay. Snake. The Knight of Cups didn't come out the way that I needed it to be to believe that it was an authentic apology. So the Page of Cups could be receiving an apology. See what happens. Let's see what happens when the wheel turns. No. See, this is the second time they get rejected. Four of Cups. No. And whatever she built out of her trying to sow the seeds of demise, it's going to crumble on them. Because that love will destroy us if we let it in. And again, the Strength card. So 3 different decks said the Strength card. And they're getting rejected. And the reason why they're offering this cup is so they can get into a safe space, because if we're loving on them and unifying with them, they are under the impression they've been forgiven, so they don't get to have to feel guilty about what they've done. But really what they're trying to do is access sanctuary. They're trying to cover themselves in the essence of our soul so that the tower, when it falls, it doesn't touch them. Because they know that we're beloved, because none of the things that they've done worked, and they were warned several times not to F with us because we were God's child, and they did it anyways. Because a moment of seeing them suffer was enough for them to lose or sacrifice their soul. They sold their soul to see us suffer because of the darkness and the devil alive in them. But you see, when they first met us, the devil was just a little seed, but now it's a great big forest. Unfortunate. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. Again, see, listen to your priestess. Let me just tell you. Okay, so again, when these 2 cards come out together, it's the Beauty Tower and the Empress. Our beauty's being attacked. So it doesn't need to be because our body's fine or whatever. What have you. It could be that we have abundance, that we're well received by others. But with these 2 cards, we're about to glow a boss up. The Star and the Empress together, it means a beautiful future, a bright future, a fortunate future. And it's already been decided by the Most High. It's already been decided. You see, this person was the starter, the body, the bee's knees, the goat before we came along. And we just need to sit there blessed, Empress, watching the tower fall. What kind of tower is it? Death. They need to be culled away. They can't be around enlightened beings. They can't. The word I'm hearing is caustic. So it's like a harsh chemical. I'm also hearing the word erosion. So if they come into the environment surrounding location, things will be depleted. Okay. And then you have the sun and the death card together. Remember what I said? When I see the 5 and the death, or the swords and the death, or the sun and the death, what does that mean? That's unfortunate. Okay, but it's what heaven has decided. It's the only way to be clean. This is the way to heal the soul of the group. They are a danger to society, but spiritual society. We're healing from crisis with this tower and the star card. We're healing from crisis because it was too much. Something was too much. They did too much. And with that 5 of Swords, which came out twice, it did mean they crossed the line in some kind of way, but 5 of Swords is like open 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords is like hidden 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is betrayal. 7 of Swords is manipulation. Okay. They did the wrong thing to the wrong person. That's really what I'm seeing here. Yeah, see, the Lord is bringing something down upon them, and they know that it's coming. So they knew that we were going to be blessed, and they know that they're about to be cursed. It's already been worked out and put into the timeline. It just hasn't hit the physical yet with the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune in this position number 3. The thing about the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune, generally, it means luck in unluck, a blessing in disguise, something of that nature. Okay. This is a detox. While I've been here on camera with you, I've had like sweating in places that I don't normally sweat. It's a detox. They're not good for our biological system, is what I'm being told. And our soul, our biological system on a spiritual level is our soul, specifically. Think of the spirit as like a spiritual brain. Think of the soul as like a spiritual body. What drives around your body? Your brain. What drives around your soul? Your spirit. Okay, so this is the second time it came back. And how many times has the strength card come back? So something's going to happen. I'm hearing they're going to be culled. Culled, cull away, kind of like trimming the weeds. Okay, so they tried to overpower us. It didn't work. This is about attacks, reversals, and coming into alignment. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Take good care. Talk to you soon. Bye.